guys feel about opposite sex best friends? Do you think it's possible to having a friend who is of the opposite sex?
Absolutely. 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 And the reason for that is because I know for me it gave me an upper hand and an insight on what the other females were looking for out of us fellas. Not only that, it gave me an insight on how the female anatomy thinks.
Mm-hmm. Anatomy or brain?
Well, brain. All of the above.
Corrections here. Give her a button. Go ahead.
Yeah, she over here tripping.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. With being best friends with you might be a problem.
Why? That's fair.
Okay, you're right.
That's
But
good.
you hardcore though. You hardcore.
Yeah.
But that's good though, because what that does is, see, the reason why I think it'll work is because number one, it cuts down on the monotony of jealousy.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't got to worry about my best friend being jealous of me because she's of the opposite sex.
That's true.
You know, it cuts down on the drama.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And not only that, if I find myself in a jam, I got somebody who can hook a brother up.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. So, being married, would you want mom to have an opposite best friend, or would you want her to have, like, you know, a girl best friend?
Well, with the type of personality that your mother had and that I have, we have grown to be each other's confidant. You know, and not only that, what I do love about our relationship and our marriage is we're confident in ourselves. So therefore, when it comes to her having male friends, I'm not insecure. When it comes to me having female friends, she's not insecure. Because at the end of the day, I know what home is. At the end
Very
of the
important point right there. Important.
At the end of the day, because I do my job right, I ain't got to worry about if she's coming home.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be taken in so many ways.
Well,
We want to learn the best from it. We want to take the best from
take
it, all right?
Always.
All of it.
All roads lead back to Jay.
Digest it.
I'm good.
Digest.
I'm good.
Take your time. Digest it.
We good.
But I mean, you look at it.
Marinate.
If I have a problem with my wife and the opposite sex, then I have a problem with her going to work.
Right.
I can't be with her 24 hours a day. You know, I trust the relationship. I trust the God in her, and I pray she trusts the God in me. And from there, you know, neither one of us are perfect, but at the end of the day, we know how to handle our responsibilities. And I take my marriage vows seriously.
That's important. I think you have to take the vows seriously.
Well, vows aren't vows just to be said. The Bible says that when you make a vow, especially to the Lord, then you need to keep it. Other than that, it'd be best that you not make it. But is it possible for opposite sex to be best friend? Yes, indeed.
I agree.
It's been like that since the beginning of time. You know, my best friend doesn't necessarily have to be a male. You know,
That's true.
So, I mean, your best friend doesn't have to be a female to keep it real.
That's true.
You know, my best friend was a male, but our desires were so different that it wasn't a conflict for me.
I think that's important though, because a lot of times you do have competition when it comes to like me having a female best friend or whatever, because you know we're the same age or we're going down the same path.
Are so catty
I'm a
though.
little offended.
You
No offense, Zone. Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead, Pastor. Let's talk about it. Huh?
Females are catty. Your minds are like elephants. You don't forget anything.
Yeah.
And so,
Nothing.
if she crossed you today,
God.
ooh, you might You might let it simmer down, but you'll never forget that.
Amen. Because you have to, I mean, once you've been burnt with so many times, you know what to look out for.
Well, there are some women
so
that
you're
don't
not
take
going
one.
to keep going through the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. Like, no, like, I'm not going to keep befriending the same people over and over and over again, expecting them to treat me differently than the last person.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I'm end up with the same thing.
People, but we'll say the same type of people.
Okay, well, people with similar characteristics, like the big characteristics that matter. Like, I'm not going to keep befriending people like that because that's a waste of my time and a waste of their time. Like, if I already know this type of friend or this type of person has not worked for me in the past, I'm not going to keep doing the same thing.
Well, you know, what I love about it is the late, great James C. Little Sr. Used to say this quite often, and that was, God deals in variety. And because he deals in variety, I don't have to settle for the same thing.
Amen.
And you made a very valid point. If you do keep doing that, then it becomes ludicrous.
Right.
It becomes a little monotonous and a little cray-cray, you know, so to speak.
That's it.
You're doing the same thing. You go and find the same tree, which is going to give you the same type of wood. You know, oak and maple are the hardest woods there are. You know, but you don't always need hard. Sometimes you need a wood that gives. So every now and then you may need some pine. You know, sometimes you need something that's thin but yet strong. So you may need bamboo.
That's
good. It just depends on what it is. But can we all get along? Yes.
Absolutely.
I actually think it's an advantage to have opposite sex best friends.
So, okay, Reg and I were talking about relationships earlier. Do you think that certain friendships will automatically lead to, like, people gaining feelings for each other?
It can. You said certain.
Yep.
Of course.
Keyword.
When you say certain.
Keyword.
Yeah. I mean, but if you say it all, no. You gotta
Situation.
be upfront. If you're up front and you're constantly letting them know, look, hey, this is what it is. We don't assume. I used to have a philosophy, and that was assuming will get your feelings hurt and your heart broke. So if it doesn't come out of our mouth as an agreement, then nobody has the right to assume anything. You know, communication is the best key, and I'm gonna tell you that. That's the essential ingredients for a friend or a mate or period, a relationship period.
Yep.
If you don't have good communication, and one thing about real friends can tell each other the truth about a matter.
That's true.
And whether you get offended or not, I'm like this. You know, I might offend you today, but you'll thank me tomorrow.
That's how I am. I feel that. But I think that sometimes when you're dealing with opposite best friends, when they have, like, you know, like, for instance, if I have a male best friend, his male friends may get in his ear and make him, you know, start to think differently about me or
that's
something
all
like
possible.
that.
Yeah, that's possible.
And I think that, like, when you let people, like, come and, like, intervene in, like, the type of relationship you have or, like, what's going on with you, I think that causes, like, a major problems. And that's why so many people feel like, you know, you necessarily can't have opposite best friends because, I mean, opposite sex best friends.
Well, I call that a weak-minded individual.
Yeah.
That's what I call that. If you can be easily influenced by other outside sources concerning the variety of your relationships, then you yourself have a problem. Number one, you're unsure of yourself. So, you know, that's shaky right there in itself because now you need other people to validate who you are and what's around you. Can other people see better than you can sometimes? Yes. I'm not going to say that they can't because some people, well, we already know this. People have hidden agendas.
That's true.
You know, and people who really care for you will point those things out. And you may not be able to see it right away because you're too close. You know, sometimes you can be too close and sometimes you're not close enough. What you got to look at is now you have an insecure person in your circle that doesn't want anybody else there. Dog, You don't have to fight for my attention.
Forget that.
Fighting for my attention, you gonna make me scratch my head.
You lost.
Right.
Already. You already lost.
I agree there.
You already lost, Doc. Out the gate, you lose.
Yeah, we might well go and take that Jimmy Choo and
losers.
Yeah.
You gone, Doc.
Got to go.
We all right. That's all right. Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to friendships, I believe that everybody has room at my table.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I won't say everybody.
No, everybody has room at my table until you show yourself differently. You know, I don't go with a preconceived notion, you know, that you are an issue.
Let's say, you're friends with an opposite sex best friend, and, something happens between y'all. Y'all have, like, an issue, and y'all stop talking for a while. Do you think that, that relationship can be saved, or you think that they're best to let go?
What, my opposite
sex best friend?
Conflicts are going to rise. How we navigate through them says a lot about how strong our relationship is and what our relationship was really built upon.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's good to take a break. You know what they say. Absence makes the heart grow
fonder.
Well, see, I do have some real friends. Your mom and I, we have some real friends who we're not around constantly. But whenever we get together, it's as though we've never missed a beat.
Right, that's true.
Good.
And here's the thing.
That's true.
It's husband and wife, and guess what? And sometimes in some situations, I feel like I'm closer to the wife than I am the husband. And your mom sometimes feels like she's closer to the husband than the wife. Does that mean that I'm insecure in that situation? Not at all. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I could say this, for both couples, God is the center of our joy.
That's true. You have anything to add, Reg? You're pretty quiet on that.
I agreed all the way through, man. I'm with it. You got to be careful when you're choosing these next partners and things like that. But I echo these sentiments here given by Pastor. It's wonderful. Ain't no more to add, man.
Again, if you guys have any topics or anything you guys want to talk about,
Bring it!
Let's talk about it.